day for the submissions and reconciliations?
No, there is no timetable for reconciliation.
Okay. Are you familiar with the financial manual?
No.
You're not?
Yes.
So how would you reconcile with the collectors? Well, how would you know that what they have done is correct or wrong?
Yes, because I was taught in MDI how to reconcile revenue and the
You would have been taught that you would have also familiarized yourself with the books of accounts.
Yes.
Of the job that you are to take.
Mm.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
Now, books of accounts. Now, as the internal control officer, you are not given any TOR.
Yes.
And so you wouldn't know what your job is.
Well, yes, I don't know what is my job because I am not given TOR to know my roles and my functions.
Okay, so what do you do?
But I am just helping the internal auditor when all the revenues collectors come for reconciliation, and then I abstract all the rates and taxes, and then I give him the raw data for reports.
And that's your only job in the area council?
Yeah.
Correct? Any other job you have as an internal control officer?
To monitor and supervise revenue collection system at Ulumos.
How do you do this?
Every Monday I travel to Wasulumo to go and monitor and supervise the revenue collection system.
And how do you record your monitoring role? How do you record the activities for the day or the week or the period that the Lumos last?
Pardon?
How do you record the activity in the Lumo?
Yes, for the Lumo, I used to go there and then I cross-check the receipts they issued to the hawkers license. Okay. And then I inspect the Lumo tickets they used to give it to the vendors. And then when they are done with it, they will report to their market master. The market master will check all their market tickets, and then I will pick the total and then inform the auditor of how much was collected for that particular Lumo.
Is this done in writing? No.
No.
Why?
Because the book is there, because every Lumo, they have a cash book, right, and they have a square book to record that if they are coming for submission, they will bring alongside that book to verify it.
Fatih, have you had instances where in your supervisory role, you will find that the collectors are really either not accounting properly how much they have collected? For instance, they are suppressing funds or revenue. When they collect 10,000 and then they just declare probably less than what they have collected. Have you experienced this?
No.
You have never experienced it?
I can remember of, time to time, these revenue collectors will come for checking at the internal audit unit, and then they will bring their cash book and their receipt book. When I check the receipt book with the cash book against the cash book, and I will find sometimes there is no receipt attached to their cash books, and then I will inform the auditor. The auditor will take the cash book to the director of finance and ask them why.
So, Mr. Fadi, your job is very simple. I don't think there's a need for an internal control officer. But again, in your statement, you recall giving a statement? You recall that a statement was obtained from you?
Yes.
By the investigators?
Yes.
This was in March 2024. You recall this?
Yes.
Okay, we'll give you a duplicate of the original. Please go through the statement. You will see your name and your signature across your name.
Yes, that's my statement.
Thank you. We apply to tender the statement of the witness, Kebba K. Fati, to be admitted into evidence and marked accordingly.
The witness statement, dated the 5th of March 2024, is hereby admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/KTRC/KKF/002.
As the Commission pleases. Now, Mr. Fati, in 2018, whilst occupying the office of the accounting assistant, you were found to have suppressed an amount of $94,000.
Yes.
Do you recall this?
Yes, I can recall it.
Where was that the case?
Yes. In 2017, this was August 2017, Kuntaur was stormed by a heavy flood which my family was affected heavily. I was part of those who are vulnerable. So my family was evacuated from our compound to the market site, where my family is sleeping every night. So that's the reason of why this amount was suppressed.
But how many days collection is this amount? How many days collection is this amount? On a regular day, how much do you collect? Or in a week, normally?
It depends.
On what?
You know, every lumo I used to collect $5,000. Every lumo, 5,000 or 4,000.
Yes.
Yes.
And the lumos are every week?
5,000 or 4,000.
And how often do you have the lumo?
When this happened in Kauru Sub-Treasury.
No, how often do you have the lumo?
A week.
Every week?
Yeah.
Okay. So how long will it take you to have the $94,000 if you are having $5,000 a week?
Yeah. You know, this happened 2018.
Yes.
And then when 2017 my family was affected by the flood, so 2018 the CEO came to Kauru Sub-Treasury, whereby I approached him of a loan.
Yes.
And then so that I can renovate our family compound, so that my family can return back to home. So yes. He gave me a green light, a verbal, there was a verbal discussion between me and him. So he gave me a green light to collect and renovate our compound.
But you have collected these monies for about 19 weeks. If you divide 5,000 with 94,000, probably you'd have been collecting this money for a long time.
Yes.
So why were you not depositing the money that you were collecting before the storm caused havoc in your area?
You know, the CEO is aware of this.
That's not the question.
What?
That's not the question. For you to suppress 94,000 because you have an emergency, which, by the way, is wrong, entirely wrong, but you've admitted to that, correct?
Yes.
Yes. But for you to suppress 94,000 because you have an emergency,
yes,
it will mean that you have had 94,000 in your hand.
Yes.
Why would you have 94,000 in your hand?
No, I don't have $94,000 on my hand.
Okay.
This was collected weekly, and then some of the collections were test collections.
How many weeks will it take you
The two
to reach
lumos,
94,000?
combining the two lumos together, Kauru and Panchan Lumo.
Yes.
So sometimes I used to collect more than $10,000.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Mr. Fatih,
yeah.
let's understand each other. To reach $94,000, you would have had a minimum of 18 weeks
Okay.
collection, going by your $5,000. Even if it is 10,000 on occasionally, let's say even 10 weeks to be on the average weekly collection. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So why would you not deposit those monies you have collected over a 10-week period before the emergency situation? Why would you hold that money?
Yes, because I was given by the CEO a green light to collect and renovate my compound. That's why I don't take the money to the bank and deposit it.
Okay, so you were collecting and renovating,
Yes,
and the green light was given to you by the CEO.
yes,
But you are seeing that in your statement. But we see that you wrote a letter to the CEO. I'm not sure whether you recall this. There's a letter you wrote to the CEO regarding this amount of money in relation to the suppression. You wrote this letter in 2019. Correct?
yes,
And do you have a copy of that letter?
yes.
Can I please see the copy of the letter that you addressed to the CEO, Kuntaur Area Council, with the heading, Notification of Shortage,
What was the date?
16th of July 2019. 16 July 2019.
Yes,
Do you have it with you?
yes.
Can we please see the copy you have? And what is the name of the CEO?
Pa Fansudabo.
Yes. And Fansudabo also wrote to you on the 25th of September 2019 with respect to this money. By the way, we applied to tender the letter addressed to the CEO dated 16th of July 2019, notification on shortage. Do you have the letter addressed to you by the CEO?
Yes. Yes.
May I please see? We apply to tender these two letters into evidence as exhibits.
A letter dated the 16th of July 2019 addressed to the CEO, Kuntaur Area Council, with the subject notification on shortage. It is signed by Kebba F. Fati. The second letter is dated the 25th of September 2019 from the Kuntaur Area Council. It is addressed to Kebba Fati, Accounting Assistant, Kuntaur Area Council. It is signed by Nafan Sudabo, Chief Executive Officer. It is copied to the PS, Ministry for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, Chairman, Local Government Service Commission, Chairman, Kuntaur Area Council, Director of Finance, and a file copy is maintained. These two documents are admitted together in evidence as an exhibit, and they are marked as LGC/KTRC/KKF/003.
As the Commission pleases. Mr. Fati, you did not state in your letter of the 16th of July 2019 that you were instructed by the CEO, or you were given the green light by the CEO to take this money.
Yeah.
Why?
Huh?
You did not state in your letter addressed to the CEO that you were given the green light by the CEO to use this money.
Yes, because when they called me to come and submit, to close my cash book for submission, when the finance manager checked my cash book, and then the amount of 94,000 was discovered on the market cash book, and then they took me to the office of the CEO, and then the CEO said that why did I suppress this amount without due procedures. And then I told him that if you can remember, you come to, when you were on a trek at Kauru Sub-Treasury, and then I have a discussion with you of that I want to apply for a loan to renovate our family compound. And then you told me to collect and renovate our family compound. So, but he denied of saying that he has not said that to me because there is no written documents.
How much did he ask you to take?
It was $50,000.
So why did you take 94?
Now for the 94,000, it was a mistake when they were checking my book, because I don't close all the books, all the market tickets were not exhausted, but for them they have just checked everything, all the market tickets I receive, while some of the market tickets are in partly use.
No, Mr. Fati, you accepted
yes.
$94,013.
Yes. You
said, I write to draw your attention to shortage discovered in my market ticket cash book amounting to that $94,013. I acknowledge the fact that I am short because I am constructing a house, whereby I run out of money to complete the construction of my house. It was destroyed by a heavy flood. So you accept the amount?
Yes, I have acknowledged that.
Yeah, so do not.
And then
say it's a mistake.
It's just later I discovered that market tickets were not finished. But when I was closing my book, I closed everything because these market tickets were, I used to, when I collect the market ticket, I used to give it to the market collectors so that they can collect.
Did you pay this money?
Huh?
Did you pay back this money?
Yes.
In full?
No.
How much did you pay?
I paid $94,000.
And how did you pay it?
And then
how did you pay it?
I was written by the CEO to pay the money to the Director of Finance or to the council account.
Yes.
Which I pay some money to the council account,
right.
Which I pay some cash to the Director of Finance.
How much did you pay to the council account?
Well,
you have your statement. You can refresh your mind if you want. Since you don't know how much you paid.
Well, I can remember I paid $94,000, but it
how
was...
much did you pay in the account?
To the account, I cannot remember that.
No, but you have it in your statement. The first page, the last paragraph. It said, I subsequently paid the whole amount of 94,000 installments, including 40,000 into the council's account.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that statement correct as well?
Yes, I pay $40,000.
Do you still go by that statement?
Yes, I pay $40,000 to the council account,
Yes.
and then the other money was spent to the office of the director.
What is the other money?
The other balance.
What is the other balance?
The other balance, I think it was $50,000.
$50,000.
Yes.
So you paid 55,000, correct?
Huh?
You paid $50,000 to the director of finance.
Yes, and then
How about the $4,000?
the $40,000
The
is
4,000 balance.
the 4,000.
50 plus 40 is how much? 90.
90.
You have 4,000
The 4,000 was deducted.
Outstanding.
They was deducting me every month from my salary.
from your salary.
Yeah.
And we'll see that.
Yeah, okay.
You write it down. We will want to see your evidence of the deduction from your account. Your salary account.
Yeah.
Which bank do you bank with?
Well, I am banking with GD Bank.
And it will show that there's deduction for $4,000.
Yes. You know, before Kuntaur Area Council, we are not banking. They used to pay us over the counter.
So how were you deducted?
They deduct me on their payment vouchers.
Over the counter.
Yes.
Mr. Fati, you're giving a very interesting evidence. So, but we have the trust bank account. So luckily for you, there's only one account, right? There's only one account that the area council has. Is that correct?
Yes.
And
That's Trust Bank.
that's trust bank.
Yeah.
Let me ask that you be given the trust bank account. Yes, please go through that trust bank account. It is the account number 110335954001, Kuntaur Area Council. Can you? Which year is this? The amount of money you've paid, the $40,000. When did you pay this? Which year? When did you do the repayment?
Well, I cannot remember. What late council, you know, I'm having some difficulties to see, you know. Because I'm having my eyes paining me, you know.
Do what I did. I have new reading glasses.
I don't have,
You should try that.
I don't have lens. I'm having only sunglass.
Okay. So you will be coming back in the afternoon
Okay.
to discuss the issue with your cash book and your role as the accounting assistant.
Okay.
So maybe in that process we will give you the account. Then you can go through it during break time.
Okay.
Would that be convenient?
Yes.
I'm asking this because we cannot find the payments there.
Yeah, I cannot able to trace it out here. And then I was sick. I just forced myself to come over, you know.
Madam Chairperson, unless there are questions, we will want to have this witness to be to release the witness temporarily and call him back in the afternoon, whilst we call the internal auditor to come and testify. He has to arrange some receipt in the cash book as well.
Mr. Fati, we will allow you to be guided by the personnel on the issues on your cash book, and we will see you after lunch break.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Thank you. So please call in the next witness.
Morning, sir. Thank you.
Welcome to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and Related Matters. You can wait the other children. What is your religion?
I'm a Muslim.
In which language do you wish to make your testimony?
English.
Do you wish to swear by the Holy Quran or make an affirmation?
Affirmation.
Affirmation. Madam Chair, the witness wishes to make an affirmation. Can you use your right hand, raise it into the air, and then repeat after me? I, Abdou M.S Njie,
Abdou M.S Njie,
do solemnly and truly declare and affirm that declare and affirm that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. You may be kindly seated. Madam Chair, this witness is sworn. I have the honor to hand over the witness for us to swear. Proceed.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Mr. Njie, you are welcome.
Thank you, Ma.
Councilman.
Yes. Tell the Commission what your full name is.
I am Abdou M.S Njie.
What does the MS stand for?
Mam and Samba.
So it's Abdou M.S Njie.
Yes.
And what is your address?
Kaur Wharf Town.
Your occupation?
Internal Auditor.
For Kaur Area Council?
Kuntaur Area
Kuntaur Area
Council.
Council, sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes.
When were you appointed?
2014
As?
as the Internal Auditor.
And you still occupy and hold that position?
2014, yes, sir.
Do you have your appointment letter?
Yes.
Were you confirmed?
I was upgraded to the position by the Council Service Commission in 2014.
May I please see your appointment?
Yes, that is. Yes.
Yes, Mr. Njie, what is your educational background?
My educational background, I went to Management Development Institute
Yes.
in 2014 and did my foundation and intermediate in accounting. From there, I passed through a series of internal audit training organized by the ministry.
And that's all?
Yes.
So you don't have you are the head of the unit,
Yeah, the unit is manned by only one personnel.
and that's you.
Yes.
You don't have any assistant?
Just recently that the office was attached with an internal controller, that is Mr. Kebba Fati.
And is he your assistant or your supervisor?
He was tasked to ensure that internal controls at the councils are effective, so he was attached to the office of the internal audit.
Okay. Now, how do you perform your functions as internal auditor?
How?
How do you perform your functions?
Part of our functions are to ensure that internal controls are effective and efficient. We ensure that books of accounts are periodically reconciled. We produce reports to the General Council for any loophole, inefficiency, fraud that may arise during the course of our work.
Oh, that's good. So you have been producing reports.
Yes, sir.
How often?
Quarterly, annually, it depends on.
On what?
It depends on the activity plan.
How many reports have you produced since 2018?
2018, 2 reports.
2019?
2019, one report.
2020?
A report too.
2021?
A report.
1 report.
Yes.
2022?
2022 too, I have a report.
And 2023?
Equally.
So you haven't met your, or you haven't adhered to your responsibilities or your obligation as per the Finance and Audit Act, where you are mandated to produce quarterly reports.
Yes.
Why? Is there any reason?
Why?
Is there any reason why?
Can you repeat, please?
You have not been doing what you were supposed to do. That is to produce quarterly reports every year.
Yes, sometimes it depends on the environment.
But the answer is yes first.
Yes, there are some reports that are produced quarterly, and I have the evidence of all those reports here with me. But most of the time, from January to December, all the activities that are undertaken, we ensure that it is put in the report.
But why would you wait until December and you produce 1 report to cover the entire year? That would not be very effective, would it be?
Yeah, that's true, but sometimes it's very challenging. One person handling the entire internal audit activity.
That's a very small area council, Mr.
Yeah,
Njie.
but the transactions sometimes, they are very challenging.
No, that's a very small area council. But then let's even agree that it is challenging, that you raise this issue, that you need help.
That's right.
Did you raise the issue that you need help? You did not.
To raise the issue for help.
Yes, that you need an assistant.
Yes.
Have you had written correspondence to this effect?
No, not actually, but at a time during council meeting,
Right.
I usually communicate to the members that the office need an assistant because of the volume of transactions.
But even the 3-4 year period that you have served as internal auditor from 2018, you have not for once produced quarterly reports in the manner in which it is described in the Act.
Of course, there are some reports that are produced quarterly.
I'm not saying a report for the year that covered all the 12 months in the year. I am saying every quarter you produce a report. You assess the books of accounts every quarter and provide your own opinion. You have not been doing that.
That's right.
A fact.
That's right.
Exactly, that's a fact. So, but then, do you have the reports with you?
I have the reports with me.
Can we please see the reports?
This is 2021 audit report. Equally, this one is 2021. This one is 2022 audit report. This one too is an audit report. There is another audit report. This one is 2019 audit report. This one is 2018 audit report. Let me check. These are the whole of reports.
Mr. Njie, even though you have not complied strictly with the Act, but at least, unlike other internal auditors we have seen in other area councils, you have really made an effort to write a report.
Thank you.
We will give you this 2018 report covering 1st November to 31st. And you haven't signed this report as well. And I see 1st November to 31st August. You may want to also clarify that.
Okay.
And you haven't signed the report and confirm the pages.
Okay, maybe it was during the time I was packing my.
And where are these originals?
Huh?
Where are the original copies?
The original copies. These are the original copies. During the time I was coming, I put them in the system. So I make a print out of them, but I was not having a stapling machine at that time.
Okay, you haven't signed these copies, and for most of the reports, you haven't bind them together. At least you just clip it or staple it,
Yes.
and you sign it,
Okay.
so that you will know we have the full report for a period.
Okay.
So please hold this. You will do that with the clerk or Mr. Kebba, the registrar,
Okay.
and you can come back with it today during break, so that we can have it admitted into evidence.
Thank you.
We apply to tender a letter addressed to the witness, Pan Fanso Dabo, with the heading re-upgrading to the position of Internal Auditor, Kuntaur Area Council, 16 December 2013. But this was not your first appointment, was it? Is it?
I was working in the finance department. From there I was promoted.
Do you have that appointment letter?
That is the one I have.
No, this is not your appointment letter. This is your upgrading letter.
I have my appointment letter too.
Do you have it currently with you?
Yes.
May I please see it?
Sure.
Hold on. We apply to tender the appointment letter of the witness, 11 February 2009, and the letter upgrading the witness to the position of internal auditor, 16 December 2013, into evidence as an exhibit.
A letter dated 11th of February 2009 with reference KTR in bracket 7/RC/volume 1 Addressed to Mr. Abdou Njie, Kaur, Mr. Mustafa Kebba, Joben, Sambanar, Central River Region, North. It has the caption, Appointment as Revenue Collector. It is signed by Kebba A.M. Drame, and it is copied to Acting Chief Executive Officer, Permanent Secretary, Department of DOSLG, copied to the Governor, Central River Region, Chairman, Kuntaur Area Council, and Acting DO Finance. A file copy is also maintained. The second letter is dated the 16th of December 2013. It is from the Kuntaur Area Council. It is addressed to Abdou Njie, Revenue Collector, Panchang Station, and it has the caption, Upgrading to the position of Internal Auditor, Kuntaur Area Council. It is signed by Pana Fansudabo. It is copied to the Chief Executive Officer, Permanent Secretary, Ministry for Lands and Regional Government, Governor, CRR, Chairman, Kuntaur Area Council, Director of Finance, and a file copy is maintained. These two documents are admitted in evidence and they are marked as LGC/KTRC/AMSN/001.
As the Commission places. Now, just a brief one, Mr. Njie. How much do you earn every month as an internal auditor?
My basic salaries.
Yes.
For total earnings?
For the month, you take home?
$9,000.
$9,000.
Yes.
The other issue is, who do you address these reports to? When you write your report, who do you address it to?
To the office of the chairperson.
The chairperson. And the CEO? Do you copy the CEO?
A copy to the CEO and the finance subcommittee.
Do you have a finance subcommittee?
Yes.
There's one?
Yes.
It is active?
At that time?
Yes.
At that time it was active, but currently we even have an audit committee at the council.
In addition to the finance committee?
Yes.
What is, we'll ask the relevant individuals when they come. You are also mandated to submit your reports to the Auditor General. Do you know that?
Yes.
Who else?
My reports?
Yes.
I should submit to the Permanent Secretary and the Auditor General.
Yes. Do you do that?
Last year, I was able to submit my report to the Auditor General.
Yes.
Yes.
That's just last year.
That was last year.
But these reports, you haven't submitted them to the Auditor General and the Office of the Minister, to the Permanent Secretary, no?
For 2023, not yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
So why was it difficult to submit this to the Auditor General over the years from 2018?
During 2018, it was very challenging for me to submit those reports.
Why?
Because at that time, I do not have the technical knowledge that reports should be submitted to the Auditor General.
Okay.
What I normally do is to submit those reports to the Council through the Office of the Chairperson, and that's all at that
Have
time.
these reports been dealt with by Council? Do you know whether they sit over these reports and try to address issues?
Yes, if I can remember, the 2020 audit report was presented at the General Council.
Yes.
And it was discussed by members of the Council, and recommendations were made for management to respond to those reports.
2020?
Yes.
Did they respond?
There was no response.
There was no response?
Yes.
2019?
Equally, there was no response.
18?
Equally.
So it is a culture that they would not respond, correct?
Yes, I can remember that I wrote a letter to notify the chairperson that reports of the internal auditor should be responded to.
Yes.
Which was not done. And later, the chairman wrote to management for them to respond to the audit reports. And just of recently, I received response from the management.
In 2024,
2024, yes.
have actions been taken in relation to findings in the audit, in your internal audit reports from 2018?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Is that seldom? Is that very rare?
What I mean about that, if actions are taken, I believe letters should be written to the internal audit to notify those actions that we are taking. Sometimes those actions are only verbally done.
Verbally done?
Yes, I do not have any communication between the office and management that this action was dealt with.
Now, we know the CEO is in control of the accounts.
Yes.
Together with the chairman and the finance director.
Yes.
Correct? You know the responsibility the chairman has with respect to the accounts?
Yes.
What is the responsibility?
The chairman is the head of the council.
Right.
He is responsible for the whole of the governance processes of the council.
Right. And also part of administration as well.
Yes, he's part of the senior management.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do they have a senior management meeting? Do you know where they have a senior management meeting?
Yes.
Do you now the finance unit in relation to the giving consent for expenditure? Do you know how it works at the council? Who gives the consent to spend money in council? Do you know?
Yes, normally requests are raised.
Yes.
Related to that activity.
Yes.
And those requests are sent to the office of the CEO.
Right.
From the CEO, he is going to act on it and minute it to the relevant department that action should be taken on.
Right.
From there.
Does the chairman play a role in granting permission for expenditure?
Sometimes.
But can you explain more on that?
That is related to activities of the General Council. Like when ward councillors write their requests, they normally send it to the office of the chairperson. He acts on them and minute it to the relevant authority that is required to take action on.
All right, that's useful information. But I'm now asking whether there is a limit for expenditure as to who should approve expenditure between council, the chairman, and the CEO. Is there a limit that the CEO has in relation to how much he can approve without the knowledge or consent of council or the chairman?
Yes, it has a limit.
What is the limit?
Transactions ranging from $1,000 to $10,000.
Yes.
Yes, but the rest it has to go to the office of the chairman, then to the contracts committee.
So the chairman would be aware of payments above $10,000?
Yes.
And so you as the auditor, what do you look for? If there's a payment for $20,000 and you have to audit that payment, if the CEO signs those vouchers,
yes,
do you try to make sure that the chairman would have signed? If not, it would not be valid?
Yes, sometimes.
Why sometimes?
What I mean is, when transactions come to the office,
yes,
what we normally do first is to make sure the transaction that is related to any office, we minute it to that office.
Yes.
For actions to be taken.
That's not the question. The question is, you had said the limit is $10,000 for the CEO.
Yes.
Correct? Above $10,000, it has to go to the chairman.
Yes.
Now, if you have a voucher that you have to audit,
yes,
and you see only the CEO signs, but there's no evidence of the chairman giving consent
yes,
for approval,
yes,
do you flag this?
Yes.
Do you have evidence of that? Would you find that in the vouchers that you have highlighted that
yes,
there's no evidence of consent from the chairman?
Yes. When you go to the vouchers, most of my comments are there.
No, regarding this specific issue.
Yes.
Okay. I think we haven't taken your statement. Let me ask that your statement be given to you. Your statement was obtained from you on the 4th of March, 2023. Do you recall this?
Yes, I recall. Yeah, this is my statement.
We apply to tender the statement of the witness, Abdou M.S. Njie, into evidence as an exhibit.
The witness statement dated the 4th of March 2023 is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/KTRC/AMSN/002.
As the commission places. Now, have the council been adhering to the rule that there should be auditing before payments are done, like pre-auditing?
That was in 2021, 22.
In 2022?
Yes.
It was when it started.
Yes.
So in 2022, in 2018, all the way to 2021 ending, the payments were made without your knowledge.
2018 and 2022, what we normally do is to post-audit the transactions. We were not directly involved in the pre-audit of payment vouchers.
Any reason for that?
At that time, it was only centered between the director and the CEO.
That of finance?
Yes.
Did you raise this issue? But that's wrong.
Of course it is.
Did you raise the issue?
Yeah, I wrote.
Do you have a letter to that effect?
Yes, I have.
You have it with you currently?
Yes.
Can I proceed? And also any document that you want to rely on in relation to your evidence. If you have the documents, you feel free to present same.
Can you help me? Is this it? Yes.
We apply to tender a letter addressed to the chairman, Kuntaur Area Council, 5th of August 2020. Into evidence as an exhibit, the subject is acknowledgement for the National Audit recommendation on the pre-audit of payment vouchers. Into evidence as an exhibit.
A letter dated the 5th of August 2020 addressed to the chairman, Kuntaur Area Council, with the subject acknowledgement for the national audit recommendation on the pre-audit of payment vouchers. It is signed by Abdou M.S Njie, internal auditor. It is copied to the Chief Executive Officer, Director of Finance, Director of Planning and Development, Chair Finance Subcommittee. This letter is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/KTRC/AMSN/003.
Ask the Commission, please. Now, we have seen that the CEO sometimes and other staffs will be withdrawing monies from the account. Have you noticed this?
When? Which year?
In the various dates.
Period.
Various dates that the CEO will be withdrawing monies from the account.
The CEO?
Yes.
Yes.
Why is that? Have you flagged these issues?
Sometimes payments are made in the name of the CEO.
Is that justifiable?
Night allowances.
Whose allowances?
Night allowances.
Night allowances?
Yes.
Okay, but this would not be proper, correct?
For instance, if he traveled to Banjul, from Kuntaur to Banjul,
Yes.
and he is entitled to be paid for a night allowance, a
Okay,
check is
you are
drawn.
referring to payments that he is entitled to.
Yes.
All right. I am saying withdrawals. Have you been having access to the account to audit the account?
Yes.
You have done that periodically.
Yes.
Have you been presented with financial statements
Yes.
by the finance director?
Most of the time, this is in my report, that quarterly financial reports are not produced.
They are not produced.
Yes.
Okay, let's go through some of the things you've highlighted in your statement regarding, the first would be found on the second page in relation to the missing GTRs that you've mentioned in 2018, 3 of which 2 were found. What happened to the last one?
Missing?
GTR books.
By a particular staff.
In your statement in
Yes.
2018, internal audit discovered that 3.
Yes, yes, I can remember.
Yes.
I can remember. That happens to a staff.
Yes. The name of the staff, do you recall?
Ansu Tarawale.
Ansu.
Yes.
Okay. So the 2 you have found, were they audited?
The books that
Yes.
I found.
Yes.
No, those books were not found.
He said 3 books issued to Ansu Tarawale accounting assistant were missing. However, 2 of those receipt books missing were found, recorded in his cash book. So they didn't find the book, but you found the recordings.
The transaction was entered, but
Yeah.
the physical evidence of those books were not accessed to be verified.
Okay. Was this issue, but how about the third one? When transactions recorded?
It was not recorded.
And then, was this issue ever resolved?
The issue took a long time.
Yes.
Because I could remember it was even observed by the national audit, and
Yes.
recommendations were made.
Yes.
The council set up a team that was headed by some of the council staff, councillors, to investigate about the matter. There was a time they had to finalize with it when there was an establishment of the Service Commission.
Right.
So the matter was then forwarded to the Service Commission for actions to be taken.
But actions were never taken.
Anyway, at the Service Commission,
I mean,
at the
at any
council.
level.
No, what the council did was the staff was upheld. He was not given any responsibility, and his salary was stopped. I could remember for a period of 1 or 2 years.
Now, but this matter was not resolved. That is the fact, correct? Do you know whether you were able to have a successful investigation regarding this matter?
The matter was later resolved. I think the staff was paying for 3 years. Then council set up a committee And that committee investigated the matter, and the person who was involved was tasked to go to the police to report the matter if he can be able to produce any police report with regards to those receipts, missing receipt books.
Now, you've also had a loan that you personally took from the area council, that you were granted a loan, correct?
Yes.
What is the amount? $20,000?
20,000, yes.
Was there a loan policy?
Was?
There a loan policy?
At that time, no, there was no loan policy.
On what basis was this loan granted to you?
Normally, the loan was granted by the chief executive officer.
So he has the sole discretion to grant
Yes.
applications for loan.
Yes.
Is that a usual procedure? Is that a usual acceptable procedure?
No, that is not normal, because normally council should have a loan committee.
Okay.
And that loan committee should sit over the loans issued to staffs or personnel.
Right.
Currently, we have that loan committee, and
But
that is,
as at the time you took the...
at that time, no, there was.
So, but you knew it was not proper. You asked the auditor, why would you apply for the loan? And when you know...
Sometimes it's very challenging. Our salary was very small.
I know everyone's salary is very challenging, but I'm just saying that you being the independent watchdog of
The council.
the revenues of council, to clearly ascertain as to, or to guide council to, or to bring out issues of irregularities in relation to the finances. If you knew at the time that there is no committee, there is no loan committee, and there is no policy, then do you not think that perhaps it would not be proper from your side to benefit from this loan in a very unusual way? No?
It was improper, I accept.
But how, was it paid?
Yeah, it was paid.
How did you pay the loan?
Through my salaries.
You were deducted.
Yes.
How are you paid your salary?
Huh?
How are you paid your salary?
At that time, we normally receive our salary from the bank.
The bank.
Yes, normally before the monies are deposited at the bank, the amount that is at loan is deducted directly from the salaries.
So you have evidence of this? If we check your salary account, you will see the deductions.
No, you will not see the salaries account deductions there, but in the system, the payroll, the deductions are there.
The payroll.
And the ledger itself.
But not in your salary account.
You know, council normally they prepare their salaries. The amount that has to go to the bank is the actual amount, but the necessary deductions are made at office level.
Yes, but if we know how much you earn, and we see that you have been deducted a specific amount, we will know.
Of course, when you go to the salary, it is going to reflect.
What you are normally supposed to earn, correct?
Yes.
Can you produce your statement of account from 2018?
2018, unless if I refer to GT Bank.
And you have to.
Yes.
That is the only way. So please note that down.
Okay.
The other issue is in relation to what you classify as doubtful payments. That is the last paragraph of the second page.
Yes.
It said doubtful payments for development and repair works. The amount is $251,493. It's 20 boots. What can you tell us about this?
What I meant about doubtful payments are council raised transactions.
Yes.
And those transactions, they required procedures.
Yes.
These procedures include, if, for instance, development works are to be undertaken,
Yes.
it has to go through the ward councillor, the request. From the ward councillor, then he is going to minute that letter to the office of the chairperson. From the chairperson, then to the development committee. The development committee, then to the director of planning and development, then to the CEO. So all those procedures were not exhausted, and these payments were raised and effected. So that was why we had the doubt that these payments were doubtful.
Did they respond to this?
To the report?
Yes.
No, not actually.
The third page, fuel allocation. How do you arrest us? How does council go about allocating fuel among the staff? Is there a fuel register?
Yes.
There's a fuel register?
Yes.
Who has custody of the register?
The procurement officer.
So you have a procurement unit?
Yes.
Since when? In 2018, was there one?
20, yes.
Okay, all the way to 2023?
Yes.
You said that on fuel allocation, I am aware that there are over issuance of fuel allocation in 2020
Yes.
to the former CEO, Nfaso Dabo, Director of Finance, Moro Keita, and Chairman Sehu Jawara. Hence, there was no threshold in the fuel allocation to staff members until around 2021. Can you please elaborate more on that?
At that time, you know, normally when fuel are to be issued,
Yes.
it has to go through the General Council for various departments, units, and staffs to be given a threshold. So those procedures were not exhausted. Fuel were just issued randomly without that procedure. So that was why fuel was over-issued. But this matter was taken to the General Council and a threshold was given. Every unit, department, or staff was approved by the General Council as to how much fuel is allocated.
Now, who was allocated this fuel without following due process? Was it the CEO, the chairman, or the Director of Finance? Who was doing the allocation?
Normally, in 2019
The problem you have highlighted, that the period under review, that the allocation of fuel was not done in line with due process. Now, who was doing this allocation?
that is management, the CEO and the Director
CEO and Director
of
of
Finance.
Finance.
Yes.
The last issue is the issue regarding the procurement of 2 vehicles from the DCD Foundation.
Yes.
What is DCD Foundation?
DCD, that is the Department of Community Development. That is the Antwerp Banjul Challenge vehicles.
Yes. So 2 vehicles were procured.
Yes.
And what do you have to say about that? What was the procedure that was followed?
The procedures, this matter was taken to the General Council, if I can remember.
Before the procurement?
Yes, before the procurement.
Proceed.
But the findings that we were able to note was the payment were not attached with receipts. And we cannot be able to acknowledge as to if those payments were really received by the Department of Community Development.
That's one issue, which is also very serious. The other would be, as well, for procurement, there is a process.
Yes, I could remember the procurement processes. They wrote to the Public Procurement Department, and they were given, their access was given for them to further go on with that.
You have seen that document? Were you copied?
A letter?
Yes.
No,
Were you
I was not copied a letter. It was
How did you know that they were given permission by GPPA?
It was discussed at the General Council.
Did you see the communication from GPA granting permission?
Yes.
Mr. Njie, you did not see that.
The letter?
communication. Yes.
The letter from the public procurement?
You haven't seen it?
No, I did not see that one.
Exactly.
Yes, it
You-
was
you
just
answer-
discussed at the General Council.
Yes. You just believed in what they said, but you had no access to the letter. But as an auditor, probably it's safer to be shown evidence of every assertion,
That's right.
correct? Because you would be the first point of contact in relation to regularizing issues in relation to finances.
That's right.
Yes, so maybe you just stick strictly to the rules of procedure guiding your profession. The last issue is there were areas of rates and taxes amounted to $235,484 in
Yeah.
2019 and 2020.
Yes.
Do you know what caused these areas?
Normally, when collectors annually they bring their books, we
Yes.
go through them and abstract the rates and taxes register.
Yes.
During that process, we noted that most of the villages, there were outstanding balances.
Yes.
So those outstanding balances were extracted from the register, and that was what totaled to the sum of that areas.
Okay.
Yes.
Was this recovered?
Some were recovered, but not all.
Now, the baseline,
Yes.
the revenue baseline, have you been doing assessment, council, every year?
The revenue baseline.
You have to know what the baseline is, what the expectation
Yes.
is. Have there been an assessment
Yes.
done every year?
By our office.
No, that's not your role. That's the role of the
Yes.
finance department. Have
Yes.
they been doing revenue assessment to know what the revenue projection would be in a given year?
For the finance department.
Yes. Have that been done?
I did not receive communications to that. But
Then-
what I can remember is, I normally engage the director of finance.
Right.
We usually, go through the revenue components.
Right.
And if adjustments should be made, I usually advise him on those areas.
Yes. Again, to verify this amount of the areas in relation to rates and taxes,
Yes.
that the amount that you have stated, $235,484 is, how do you verify this amount? What documents do you look into?
Every collector is provided with a receipt book
Yes.
and a cash book.
Right.
And additionally,
Right.
every collector should have a register for rates and taxes.
Yes.
That rates and taxes are updated on periodic basis.
Yes.
Those registers are presented to our office. We verify the receipts that are paid and as to the register.
But how do you verify the register itself?
We check against the receipt book, the TR number.
No, if the register, what will it contain? What will the register contain?
The names of compounds that pay those rates.
Now, how do you know that if the register has 10 compounds listed, how would you know that that's an under list?
Normally every village has a total amount that pays.
Yes.
So normally that amount should reflect in the cash book.
Yes.
And that amount too should reflect in the register.
I know. We are together. I'm saying if you look at the register,
Yes.
and it tells you there are 5 villages and each has 10 compounds. How do you verify that information? Something must have informed the register. Something must have given the register the information that there are 10 compounds in each village.
A Form B.
So Form B?
Yeah, Form B entails the total sum of all the rates and taxes that are in particular wards.
And how is the information in Form B accumulated?
The Form B, the total number of villages in a particular ward. That is what is transferred to the Form B.
How is information generated? How do they get the information? Who writes that in Form B?
The revenue collectors.
So there is an assessment done by the revenue collector.
Yes.
And each revenue collector will do their own assessment.
No, annually,
Yes.
when council wants to prepare their rates and taxes,
Yes.
every collector is assigned to a specific area.
Yes.
And that specific area, the number of villages are in that Form B.
If they understate the number of compounds in a village, how would you know?
Yes, we will know.
How?
Because the alkali will send a report, or the district chief, or even us as an internal auditor. I know the entire villages in Kuntaur LGA.
And you know the entire number of compounds you have.
What we normally do is during assessment, we as internal auditors, we go from village to verify whether the assessment procedures are in line, whether staffs or personnel went to each of those compounds to assess the number of villages that are.
No, not we, say I. You're the only person in the unit.
No, me and the internal controller.
Control officer, okay.
Yes.
That's fair enough.
Yes.
Now, do you document this?
Yes.
Can we see evidence of the documentation?
The rates and tax.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
The confirmation you will do to confirm this.
I have it in my soft copy.
But you don't have any hard copy.
The hard copy is in the office.
Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Njie, that's fair enough as well. We will give you a chance to produce same.
That is the register.
Not the register, the confirmation. You go around with the internal control officer
Yes.
to confirm the assessment done by the revenue collectors so that you have an independent information, correct?
Yes, I have it. I can provide it.
So that particular exercise that you conduct, if it is documented,
Yes.
then we will want the evidence of that information
I can provide that evidence.
for every year.
Yes, I will.
All right. Now, the last issue probably is, are you familiar with the sources of income for the area council?
Yes.
Please tell us.
Rates and taxes,
Right.
license, royalty fees, sometimes grants, properties,
Okay.
commercial properties like GSM. You have land transfers, LUMO revenues. You have sales of stray animals. Most of those are sources of revenues of the councils.
All right. The other issue is, how many cashiers do you have?
Cars
Cashiers.
at the council.
Yes.
No, we do not have cashiers at the council.
No cashier.
No.
Why is that? So who handles payments?
Payments are handled by the Director of Finance and the Accounts Clerk.
Accounts clerk.
Yes.
So the Director of Finance and the accounts clerk are both the paying
Yes.
out cashiers and the receiving cashier.
Yes.
So you don't have designated cashier.
No, we don't have cashiers at the council.
Okay. Finance managers. Do you know the staff in the Director of Finance office? Is there any finance manager?
There is a finance manager, an accounts and assistant, an accounts clerk, and the Director of Finance.
All right. Any question to the witness?
Mr. Njie, are you familiar with the audit report? That is the National Audit Report ending the year 31st of December 2018. Are you familiar with the report?
Yes.
There have been serious issues raised in the report, and they were continued in the audit report that covered the period 31st December 2019 to 31st December 2020. Now, my question for the 2018 audit report is that there has been differences in voucher amounts and amounts in the cash book.
Yes.
Yes, if you look at the total amounts, like what you will find in the voucher amounts for the period 2018, for some of the vouchers that they have sampled.
Yes.
It amounted to 479,083.39. And the cash book amounts was 520,534.34. And the differences is 51,450.95. Were these issues resolved?
Yes, most of those personnel that were affected were deducted from their salaries.
And do you have evidence of these differentials?
There should be communication in their files, because normally when the National Audit made their recommendations, any staff who is found default, a letter is communicated to you. And that communication normally is in their files.
Now, all right, you have also said we will want to see, but you are going to give us your audit reports. We will see whether you have captured these issues on your audit report.
Yes.
We have also noted on the issue of understatement of revenue. If you look at what is contained in the audit report in Annex A, for January alone, you have over 33 payment vouchers. These were missing vouchers.
Yes.
Were you able to see this voucher? For January alone, and they serially listed all the months and the vouchers that are missing on expenditures, and these are expenditures that evidence substantial amounts of money.
Yes, these payment vouchers, when the National Audit made their recommendations, I could remember the council set up a team, and in that team I was part of the supervisors to look into those payments that were missing.
Were you able to get all of those vouchers that were?
Most of them were.
They noted as being missing from January to December.
Yes.
For all of these vouchers.
Yes, and they were sent to the National Audit.
Okay, please provide us with the evidence of that, because you would have provided in writing and conveying specifically these vouchers that they have identified, particularly listing their PV numbers.
Yes.
Correct? So
Yes.
please note that, and you can provide that for us. And the other issue is that you've been asked earlier on, and you said you conduct audit, but it was noted that it was highlighted in 2018 that you do post-auditing, not pre-auditing.
Yes.
And the National Audit Office was able to raise the issue that you backdate your auditing, as contained on page 25 of the National Audit Report. Right?
Yes.
So why were you doing that?
I was not given access to the payment vouchers, so I cannot provide any independent report. That was the problem.
All right. And there is also the issue of the fact that petty cash was given and there was no system in place for retiring of petty cash. And for most of the transactions in that council, petty cash is given to the officials to do the transactions. Why were they not having a system in place to make sure that this the cash is retired?
2018, 2019, I can vividly remember I did not have any voice with regards to making decisions in the council.
2018 and 2019.
Definitely. It was only centered between management, so I have to keep myself to be able to at least protect myself in future.
Now, you also did mention the fact that there was in your report, in your statement at page 2, you stated that there was an issue of suspected fraud on receipts from Jawel. Can you explain to us what happened? As contained in your statement at page 2. That
what
is,
I could remember.
The third paragraph.
Yes. Because these receipts were used for effecting payments.
Can you please explain?
On fuel matters.
Yes, please explain so that we can understand how this fraud was perpetuated.
What I could remember is council normally pay to Jar Oil. That is monthly based on the fuel that is allocated to them by Jar Oil. So normally those fuel receipts should be given by Jar Oil in passing. But to my knowledge, those receipts were at the council level. And the documentation of those receipts were handled by management instead of Jar Oil. I believe if you buy something from somebody, he should give you a receipt, but not you in passing handling the receipt and drawing those receipts by
And
yourself.
who was responsible for that?
At that time,
Yes.
that is the CEO.
So, yes, can you please proceed?
During the National Audit Review, those receipts were found in the office. And most of those receipts do not have any duplicate as to how much was allocated by the council. So it was very difficult for us to know how much money was paid because the duplicates were not there and the receipts were too many receipts anyway.
So, was there an investigation, or were you tasked to review this and come up with a report as an internal auditor?
No, the council set up an investigation.
Yes.
For those issues raised by the National Audit. And if I could remember, there come at a time when most of the members declined.
Which members?
Members of the council.
They declined to do what?
To complete the job based on reasons.
So the council, who were the team? Who were the members of the team that was set up?
I could remember the vice chairman was part of it. I was part of it. And other members of the council too were part of it.
Do you have records of that?
There should be in the minutes of meetings of the council for the composition of those members.
Please note that and bring us that those records.
Okay.
Please note it so that you will not forget. Now, you have also indicated that there was no threshold and there was over-allocation of fuel. And if you look at the report, it has indicated the amounts of fuel that the officials concerned are to be supplied with, and they are oversupplied. You as the auditor, were you able to recover, you understand, the excess supply? Whether by way of deduction in cash terms from the officers concerned?
No, what the council did was, a meeting was called, and members of the council made a discussion about that. And what they finally was a specific amount that was allocated, but the recovery was not done.
In the 2019 to 2020, there is an indication in the audit report. Are you familiar with the audit report for the 2019-2020?
Yes, I have one with me.
Yes. The report has indicated that a threshold was actually created as to how much each officer is entitled to, but they were still oversupplied. What happened?
No, at that time there was no threshold.
Is that so?
Yes,
All right, we will check and reconfirm that.
there was no threshold. It was after the recommendation of the national audit, a threshold was set by the council.
So please provide us with the evidence and the proof that this was what the council has set out to allocate to the officers
Yes,
through council resolution.
I can provide. I can.
All right. Council, you see?
That's all for this witness. For now, we will have them regularize the documents as stated with the registrar to have it admitted after break.
So is the witness coming back after lunch break?
Yes, he has the other reports
Okay.
that are not organized as stated earlier.
Thank you.
Mr. Njie,
Yes.
thank you so much. We will see you after lunch break.
Thank you, sir.
And we may rise so that we may submit the audit reports.